Hello everyone, welcome back to 24/7 United. My name is Josh and this is my brother Jake. We are doing a full match review of Manchester United vs Bournemouth, and it resulted in a 3-1 victory for Manchester United. Our goal scorers for Manchester United were Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Juan Mata, and Wayne Rooney. Jake,
Also, Smith scored for Bournemouth.
who really cares about him? Jake, how do you think our first half performance was compared to our second half?
I mean, our first half was a little bit slow as expected. Beautiful football was not played, but you have to give credit. Many opportunities weren't produced for Manchester United, but you have to give credit to Juan Mata, the goal scorer in the first half, who made something out of nothing. He hustled, and I'm very happy for him. He's had a lot of pressure with rumors surrounding him that he's going to be sold to another club, and he was given the chance to start, and he made the most of it. He scored a goal, and not only that, but he played really well the whole game, taking control of the midfield. Even though he was on the right wing, he moved in the middle of the field and he created many opportunities, and he passed the ball really well, and he overall had a really, really solid match, so I'm happy for him. In the second half, we played much better. Jose Mourinho must have said something to his boys in the locker room because they just came out with fire. They played really well, especially for that span of 6 minutes in the beginning of the second half when Wayne Rooney scored and then Zlatan Ibrahimovic scored immediately after. They played really well there. You have to give credit to Wayne Rooney, who had a pretty poor game in my opinion, but he made the most of his goal scoring opportunity, and he nodded and he kicked it in the back of the net. And then Zlatan Ibrahimovic, that was just a goal. He made a sick goal. He made something out of nothing, really. He just shot it and it freaking went in. It was an amazing job. So well done to him on his first Premier League start, his first Premier League goal. So the second half we played much better. Towards the end, the players were a little bit tired and a little bit more defensive, which opened up some opportunities for Bournemouth to have, and they capitalized on one of them, scoring that one goal by Smith. But other than that, Manchester United had a solid second half and a decent performance overall in the first game of the season, so I'm very happy with how they played.
Jake, who were the top 3 players that played well and had a great performance, and your bottom 3 players that had a poor performance?
My top 3 players for players that had good performances yesterday were Juan Mata. As I said, you know how I feel about him. He played really well yesterday. I also think Zlatan Ibrahimovic played really well. Not only did he make that awesome goal, but he also created many opportunities for his teammates, including that wonderful flick he had to Wayne Rooney, who unfortunately missed the goal, but it was a really nice flick and pass from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Another guy that played really well for his second game in a row was Eric Bailly, our center back. He played with fire. I honestly love this guy. He acts like a tank. He's a beast, and it's hard to get by him, and he played really well. He had many interceptions in the beginning of the game and also towards the end, and he just had a really solid game. However, there's one player that I really have to give credit to who gets a lot of critique from Manchester United supporters ever since he joined the club, and that is Marouane Fellaini. He played really well in the midfield. When I first saw him in the lineup before the game started, I was like, oh, why is Mourinho starting this guy? But he honestly had a great game yesterday, many interceptions, and he just played really well, which is why a lot of our goals were scored, not because of he didn't make any assists, but because he made a lot of interceptions. So I just think overall a lot of these players played really well. However, some players played poor. No one in particular had a horrible game, but some players just weren't themselves. And those 3 were Luke Shaw. It was his first game back since his injury in the Premier League, and he was just a little bit rusty, a little bit nervous possibly, especially in the beginning of the game when he lost the ball right in front of the net. But other than that, he didn't play horrible. He just wasn't Luke Shaw caliber, and I think he'll get that as the season progresses. Another player, Anthony Martial, he also did not play horrible. He didn't play bad. No one really played bad for Manchester United. He just was Anthony Martial. He was one of the worst on the field on Manchester United's squad, but he didn't play horrible. In the first half, he didn't have a good first half, but as the second half progressed, he played really well, especially during that 6-minute span because he gave the assist to Wayne Rooney on that miss-hit volley. He also gave the assist to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. However, as the game progressed on in the second half, he grew a little tired, and he didn't play as well. So that's why I'm putting him in this bottom 3. And the third player that I'm going to put in this bottom three. It has gotten a lot of critique also from Manchester United fans, and that's Wayne Rooney. Even though he scored that goal, I thought he lost the ball way too many times in the midfield, and he just didn't have a good game. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the near future being replaced by either someone like Henrik Mkhitaryan as the number 10, possibly Juan Mata moves there, and possibly even we saw it last season with Louis van Gaal, Jesse Lingard. So we'll see how everything goes, but I just don't think Wayne Rooney had that great of a game yesterday.
How do you think our substitutions, Schneiderlin, Memphis, and Mkhitaryan played?
I mean, it was a little bit hard because they came in much later in the game, but I think Schneiderlin came in to add defense to the squad because we were winning towards that time, and he was just making Jose Mourinho wanted to have a more defensive formation, so that's why he put Schneiderlin in. Schneiderlin didn't really do much, but I mean, he came in late towards the game. I was happy to see Henrik Mkhitaryan in. He wasn't really involved that much except for one play where he literally made like two players right after each other, and that was pretty sick. So I'm excited to see what Mkhitaryan has. He has a lot of potential. He's had a great season last year. He won Bundesliga Player of the Year, so I'm really excited to see what he has. I wouldn't be surprised to see him start in the next couple of games because he's just getting some action in the Premier League because he's never played in a league like this quick. So he's getting some practice before he's actually going to be a main starter for Manchester United. And the third sub was Memphis, and honestly, as I said before, I watched Memphis in the preseason, and he looked much better than last season. He looked a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. He didn't really do much because he literally came in like the 88th, 89th minute yesterday. But I'm excited to see Jose Mourinho giving him some opportunities because this lad has loads of potential, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do because, I mean, he didn't have a good season last year. We all know that, but I'm excited to see if he has. I'm excited to see Mourinho giving him an opportunity to play and show what he has. So we'll see how that goes.
Jake, who is your man of the match? In my opinion, my man of the match was Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He scored in his debut for Manchester United. Lovely player, very good. I was nervous because English Premier League is a very fast-paced game, and I don't think he's the fastest player, but he proved me wrong, and he's a goal scorer, but he also did the same for passing. He saw the field really well. He played brilliant. Jake, who is your star?
Yeah, Zlatan had a great game yesterday. He played much better in the Premier League than I thought as well because of the reasons you mentioned. But my man of the match goes to Eric Bailly. As I said, he was a tank. He played really well. He intercepted the ball many times, and I'm excited to see what this guy has because he has loads of potential. I'm excited, and I'm hoping that he's the next Vidic, the next tough center back for Manchester United, and he's very young, so he has many years left, and I'm just really excited to see what he's going to do for years to come. It's exciting to see him at Manchester United, especially, you know what also made me feel good? I'm kind of going off topic here, but last season with Louis van Gaal, there was a time period in the beginning of the season where almost a lot of our players were hurt, okay? And if you look at the bench, they're all these academy players. Not that there's anything wrong with academy players, but they're like players that a lot of fans have never heard of. If you look at the bench today, or yesterday, our bench was filled with experienced players like Carrick, and then you also had good youngsters like Memphis, Rashford, who unfortunately didn't play, but we had Schneiderlin as well, and Henrik Mkhitaryan. We just had a loaded squad. So I'm excited that our squad is loaded, and if injuries occur, the next man is willing and will step up. And I'm just looking very forward to the rest of the season for Manchester United.
Sadly, that will be it. Thank you all very much. Please comment, subscribe, like. Thank you very much.
Comment your man of the match, okay? We'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Or, actually, we'll see you on Thursday, because we're going to do the pre-match review for Manchester United versus Sunderland. See you then.
Stay tuned.